Good morning and welcome to today's pre-market video. Now in today's pre-market video we're going to take a look at the Sensex, plus we're going to take a look at one stock which is Wipro. This is on Twitter yesterday and even in the Telegram group I had mentioned that I'll be covering a stock today. I'll be taking a look at what stock traders plus F&O traders can do with Wipro. Now before we go into Sensex then Wipro, let's take a look at the news front. Now, I usually always cover the international news and the local news, but today I will not bother with the international news. I've shared a lot about it in the previous pre-market videos over the Jackson Hole meeting and everything. But so today I'm only going to focus on the RBI Monetary Policy Committee meeting. I believe that will have a large impact on the market today. The RBI MPC maintained the benchmark lending rate at its last policy meeting, and I've seen some of the concerns. Like the first concern is that the persistent food inflation has basically started spilling over onto other sectors, and they're hoping that reduces. Then the external members also expressed concerns about the potential impact of the restrictive monetary policy on growth. Then the Reserve Bank of India governor emphasized the need of vigilance due to food inflation pressures. And the governor also argued that discussing the equilibrium natural interest rate is very premature at this stage. But as I had said in one of the pre-market videos of this week, when the governor had given an exclusive interview to NDTV, that I believe right now what is happening a lot is posturing. This is as most likely September there will be a rate cut in America, and whether the RBI governor likes it or not, he's going to have to follow suit, as most economies in the world will follow what the American Fed is doing, and India has always done so in the past, so I don't see any big change in that. So talking about natural interest rate, everything in this manner, I simply believe is posturing and trying to show that he has his own train of thought that is going to be unaffected by everything, but that is simply, it's not possible in today's world with the amount of connections each economy has. Then basically he said that the inflation is gradually declining, but he believes the pace is slow and uneven, and he aims to keep inflation expectations anchored and avoid spillover the food inflation to core. Then after that the external members expressed concerns about the potential negative impact on how the RBI is managing certain aspects of inflation. So basically that's what I saw when I looked through the monetary policy meeting documents, and as I said, most of it is posturing, as he wants to show that he has his own train of thought that's not going to be affected by what's happening, by the Fed is doing, what the Bank of England is doing and everything, but everyone knows it will have a spillover effect here, and the governor will do what they're doing in the next meeting after the Fed. So now we go to the Sensex. Now for the Sensex, now this week I've been a very anti-option buying guy, as I've always done both option buying and selling, and in all my pre-market videos, if you look before this week, I've always shared an option buying plan and an option selling plan. Now I believe tomorrow, so I was saying tomorrow, they record this the night before, there will be an opening, and on the option buying side, improvement from what we have seen the whole week of severe box ranges, but I don't think it will be that significant to give us a very big move. Now coming to the Sensex, I will again, as I have said, focus more on the option selling front. Now the Sensex on the top, you'll see, has more resistance levels, less resistance levels and more supports. This is as how it is right now climbing. It's going to find it harder to clear each level easily. This is as number one. It has just cleared one major gap down zone, and we can see that it had one big rejection week, a second big rejection week, and now it's going to another big gap down zone. So there's a lot the Sensex has to do, plus the volume is pretty decent for the bulls, but the issue is that the trend is flat. As you can see, the trend catcher indicator is not moving above certain levels. So due to that, I believe option buyers will get moves, bigger moves than they have got this week. But first, they will first have to do both sides, shorts and longs, between 81,420 and 80,740. This is, I believe, we're going to trade within this box range, and only if we break this box range, that's when we're going to get a decent move. So, option buyers, expect dual-sided moves in this range. Now coming to option sellers. Now I'll be a bit cautious on the Sensex. This is as number one, all the pre-market videos I've given for this week, mid-cap Nifty, Fin Nifty, Nifty, Bank Nifty, all have had 100% success rate. So since decent amount of money on the option selling side has been made, I think it's better to be a bit cautious with Sensex, and I every day share an aggressive stance, option selling, and a cautious stance. For Sensex, I'm going to most likely take the cautious stance, unlike what I've done in the past videos. So, I believe option sellers can sell above 81,650 if they're aggressive, and above 81,900 if they're cautious on the call side. While on the put side, I believe they're aggressive, they can sell below 87.40 basically, so 8700. But if they're cautious, they go and sell below 85.50 or 83.20. But as I said, I'm going to take a cautious stance simply because of it being a Friday, and generally all the issues in the market historically always pop up on Friday. Whether it's broker issues, where there are too many issues that tend to pop up. So I'm going to be very cautious on the option selling side, and I'm going to deploy only about half of the volume I usually deploy, and I won't take the aggressive options. So as again said, on the call, I'll sell both call and puts, but on the caution ones I've just listed. Now let's go to Wipro. Now Wipro is one that caught my attention due to a certain question that came in about it from a client that he's trading it, and I believe now Wipro is going to give good opportunities to option sellers, and the ones holding it as an equity trade from, let's say, here should tighten the stop losses. This is, we can see the rejection which is happening. Now, why I say Wipro will give good options to option sellers is, number one, we're in the last leg of this month's expiry, so the decay is going to kick in at a better pace than it has, and Wipro is just literally getting hammered here because there is a huge number one gap down, then this is a resistance, another resistance, and now another resistance. So there is a candle resistance zone here, plus there is a quant resistance zone between 532 and 538. So according to me, as long as Wipro stays below 532 and 538, equity buyers are going to get tired out, and if they're not cautious, they might even lose their profits. Option buyers trying to go long are going to get stopped out multiple times. Option sellers who sell calls above this have a higher likelihood of making money, simply because of us being in the last leg of the August expiry, and Wipro is getting rejected here constantly. So I have already entered option sales for Wipro. I've got call sales and I've placed them with a stop. They're hedged, so all should go well. They already made money from today's decline which has happened. So I believe anyone who is looking at Wipro, if they're an option seller, there's an opportunity coming. Simply the box range move will benefit you. Now, how do I expect you to trade? I expect it to be in a box range between 538 and 510. As long as it's in this box range, option sellers are going to make money, and equity buyers are going to literally get hammered with madness. However, if it breaks 510, then a fall to 500, which is a very important support, very strong support, and then a fall at 590, very strong support again. These two are on the support side, Wipro has got a lot of good support. On the resistance side, Wipro has got a lot of good resistance. On the other hand, if Wipro breaks 538, then I believe an up move will come to 555, at which it will basically top out again. It will end up getting rejection again. So as I said, I already hold CE sales in Wipro, and I believe any equity buyer who is going to trade Wipro will who's invested in Wipro, they're in a profit, tighten the profit stop. If they're in a loss, you might get in a bigger loss in the coming days. So that's my view on Wipro and Sensex. If you like the video, then hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, and also click the notification bell. And any comments and suggestions you may have, drop them to the WhatsApp number in the description box or in the comments section.